let's go ahead and start using the extrude tool to create the insets for some of these. Let's go ahead and select our object. Let's go ahead and turn symmetry off. We're just going to use modeling tools that we have. We don't have to select too many things here. I'm going to leave these alone for a moment and just work with these three faces. We can't see the back, but we're just going to assume that it's going to have the same types of inset panels like this. Now shift and right click, go to extrude face. So you're going to get this gizmo, and the gizmo is controlled through a few things. It defaults to what is called a local space movement. And it gives you X, Y, and Z types of movements to things. That Z axis, remember blue is Z, but you'll notice you've got a local translate Z. Z is kind of like the axis that runs along the surface. So anywhere that you're looking at the surface, think of the Z axis as like, well, that face is facing you right now. That's the Z axis for that surface. You know, if we turn it like this, that's the local Z axis for this because it's coming right at us. Whereas in global space, blue is Z and it's going that way. It takes a little while to get used to that. It's sort of just this relationship between X, Y, and Z in the world, and then X, Y, and Z that runs along a surface. That's basically the differences between, you know, global and local origins. So this button up here, it's usually called a radio button because it toggles, allows you to toggle between the global X, Y, and Z and that component's X, Y, and Z. So sometimes you want to extrude things not just according to its surface, but according to the global X, Y, and Z. It defaults at the local. If you click on this ring, it activates the rotations. So you can rotate, you know, you can scale these, and you can manipulate these tools. So we could pull the thickness out. We could rotate it all together if we wanted to. It can get a little bit overwhelming, and I usually say, you know, keep it simple. Is just stick to this menu, and if you're ever using these axes, just stick to that translate Z. That'll usually get you what you want. So I'm going to shift and right click, go to the extrude tool, not going to use the gizmo. I'm going to use this floating menu, and I'm just going to, we're not going to extrude these, we're actually going to bring these in a little bit. Maybe we hold control, and just like our movements and scales, all our transformations, it gives you a finer range if you hold control while you do this. It's not middle mouse, it's left mouse on these tool menus. Okay, now let's go ahead and create geometry for the doors. I'm going to keep these doors shut. If we were to make them open, I would create a different cube object and model that separately, and that's what I suggest that you do if you want to keep one of the doors open or a drawer open. So I'm going to go ahead and select both these faces, shift and right click, go to extrude face, and just to portray a little bit of a seam in between here, I'm going to do a little bit of an offset to these, and I'm going to turn keep faces together off. Hold control. Let me just go into the offset. Let's move the camera in here. It's a little bit of a gap in there. I'm using 0.02, but whatever works for you. Move these in just a little bit. Go ahead and extrude them again. And I'll just use G as in golf, and that repeats the last command. So G. Key faces together is on, but it doesn't matter right now. So I just want to show you really quick what I'm doing. I kind of just pushed them in a little bit after I extruded them, and then I extruded them again. Just to get a little bit of a separation in there. Can go ahead and extrude them again, so G again, and this time we can offset them. Hold that control key if you want to fine-tune the scale. And then G again. And we'll move that in about the same distance that the side panels were moved in. F8, function 8. We can turn off wireframe unshaded and just keep it shaded, and you can see the only thing missing, at least in this particular case, are the hinges, the knobs, and the top, and I'll make those in another video. Go ahead and save your workout in another working iteration. I'm up to 02. I'll save out 03.